You are going to spend more time on the research page, I suspect, than any of the other Library Learning Commons pages. So the research page is set up in such a way that you can easily access the academic resources that we have purchased for you. That's why you have to sign in using your K-12 account to use this website, because we have paid for thousands of electronic books, ebooks, and the York Catholic District School Board has also paid for resources for you to use. So when you go to the research tab, you'll notice there's also a drop down for citation, data sources, and research 101. We'll talk about citation in a separate video. Our virtual library consists of a Gale Reference Center, YCSDB databases, ebooks, Bloom's Literature for English classes, World Religions for religion classes, as well as some history primary sources. Most of these resources are password protected. So if you click here, you will have access to the passwords to a variety of these databases and resources. You might be wondering, come on, Miss, when we have to do a research project, all we do is Google it. And although obviously Google is an amazing resource, it also will give you way too many resources, not all of them entirely credible. So when I look something up on Google, I will have to go through a certain process. How do I know this is credible? So I've created 3 different links to graphic organizers that will help you to determine the credibility of the resource. Is the author a known person or expert? Is it current? Is there a bias in the source? Who puts this out? So these are really important questions to ask yourself, and each of those graphic organizers will help you. Pick one that you like and just go with it. You also have lots of advertisements in Google, and so it's a way better idea. It'll save you more time in the long run if you just jump into some of the resources. So here we go. I'm going to start with Gale Reference. So Gale Reference is going to give me a variety of different titles with our school's name on it, okay? And then what I like about it is it actually offers you some interesting tools that Google obviously doesn't offer. So you would look to see something that is pertinent to what it is that you're trying to study at the time. And so just say I'm in fine arts. So when I go into one file has a really interesting search mechanism, and it's called Topic Finder. And what I really like about Topic Finder, because I'm a visual person, is that it will organize something in terms of topics for you and related topics. I better put my glasses on. So I'm putting in Impressionism into the Topic Finder, and what it does, takes a minute, is it will bring up a visual of the topic that you were looking at. And then I can go into the visual in order to look at it in depth. So this is a great thing to use when you're starting. So you're supposed to do something on Impressionism, but you're not quite sure where you want to go with it. You need to refine your topic. So you might start with Renoir or art museums or Monet or modernity. So then from there, you are going to notice that the results will show up here. We'll just go into, check avant-garde art. Once you go into an actual resource, you're going to notice that all of the Gale 1 file has the same elements. You can hit Cite, and you can identify which type of citation you need. So this is MLA 8th edition. I, friends, just have to copy and paste this into my Works Cited. If I needed APA, I could click on it, which is fabulous. You could download it. You can send it to your email. You can also, if you sign in, use highlights and notes. What I also like is that if English isn't my first language, I can translate it I can change the font. Someone like me who needs glasses, or if you're visually impaired, you might want to make it bigger. I could also listen to the text, and that particularly is useful if you find that the words are really dense or you have trouble focusing. I sometimes need to listen to it and look at it at the same time. And then what I really like is that it has related articles, okay, which is very, very useful, especially if I'm trying to narrow down my search. So that was Gale Resource. Gale in Context is for high school is really neat because it shows different ideas in context. And here, like the pros and cons. So here I could go into geography, literature, social issues, vaping, for example. And what it shows you, it gives you an overview, but then it also goes through featured content, magazines, news articles, academic journals, and websites. And again, it gives you this idea of the related topics, which I think is really, really important. All right, so that's Gale. You also have access to YCSDB Resources. And so in order to do this, I've given you a direct link, and you are going to need to use your password. Again, it's in the password stock to get in here. But once you do, there's a Britannica Science Pack with additional information for logging in. Cengage Learning. Okay, so that is a big gobbledygook, and I'm going to jump into Cengage Learning. And again, I had signed in, and it gives you York Catholic District School Board resources as well. You'll notice that some of them are similar, and yet there are lots of others. And you can use the power search here, okay, in order to look through these resources. So there are more resources than what we have at our school through the York Catholic District School Board. They also have ebooks, and so do we, and I'm going to show you where that is, and that is right here. So again, you're going to need a username and password. You're going to sign in, and these are actual books that you can look into, okay? So let's go into biographies. Again, could be, look at that, Ariana Grande. Who knew? So we're jumping into Ariana Grande. Obviously, you're going to use a search term for what you need to do in your class. I just want to show you that within any of the ebooks that you have, again, you're going to be able to cite the research just by pressing the button, and it will give you a citation link. But you can also go into the various chapters just to get an overview of the table of contents. And you can search the actual book itself, okay, which is really great. You can also save it to your Google Drive if you log in. So those are our ebooks, and we have literally 7,000 ebooks for you to choose from. World Religions and Bloom's Literature are very specific to English and religions. You're going to use the database. You're going to use the username and password. You are going to also have access to the citation button. You're going to be able to save it. You're also going to be able to listen to it. So all of the same features that you have. History Primary Sources is just a doc that I revised, and it was originally created by Miss Young at St. Augustine, and it links to actual primary sources and archives. So you just have to click, and it will bring you to those different historical online newspapers that are no longer in print. And finally, you're going to want to learn a little bit about citation. So we're going to start a new video for that.